If you assign a particular time to it, that activity expands itself to fit that time accordingly. But it was a chore on a good day. We told ourselves, I need to finish this in 20 minutes. You will work as though you have 20 minutes to finish it. It's the same thing with deadlines. Some of us they say, I like working under pressure. Nobody likes working under pressure. We just like that crunch. Because the truth is, that time that they gave you to do that, really, you didn't rate it. So you lounge until the very last minute, then it's human nature. It's part of it. If we leave ourselves to our natural devices, we are quite destructive individuals as human beings. So assign your time with the knowledge that as much time as I give to a particular task, that is likely the time I will spend doing it. If you have that awareness at the back of your mind, I would expect us to plan better. Because if we plan better, we'll be less in a hurry. If we're less in a hurry, we are less panicking. If we are less panicky, we are less anxious. If we are less anxious, we are at peace and more likely to be in tune with our mental health. And finally, another practical step is something I'm always happy to say out loud every time I stand in front of God's people, is build a strong community. Because each time, I can't remember what verse of the Bible it is in, but whenever people read that verse, they think it's about coming to church on Sunday. The verse that goes, do not forsake the assembly. I think there's a verse like that. People think it's just about coming to church on Sunday. Let me not enter the domain that is not mine. I was about to start talking about how the early church worked. But the reason why the early church was so successful is because there was a sense of community. It's not like there was no stress then. There was. But people had people they could run to and tell that there's a problem. And their problem did not become, what was the news thing we just did? It was beautiful. It didn't become topic of conversation in church. They didn't become gossip in church. I think that has been the issue with a lot of people these days about isolating themselves in their father's house. Because we've forgotten that the gathering of believers was meant to build. It's not just building structures, buildings. It's building people. And the sense of community is not only protective from physical things or social things like financial difficulties, but it's protective for our minds. Because the person you might be running to tell about what you're going through may have passed that, and they will tell you, when I had this is what I did. Don't worry, come, I'll show you. As simple. Do you know why in Africa, the postpartum period were more successful than the West? Do we know that? Yes. Yes. In fact, it is recently that incidences of postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis have been spiking in our environment. Over those Oyibo people, they are used to it. In fact, they're the ones that will tell you baby blues. They're the ones that will tell you, oh, I had PPD, postpartum depression. It was an alien concept here. It was extremely rare. It was so rare that when it happened in families, everybody knew because it is an aberration. But right now, we have become so isolated. I want to mind my business. I don't want to be topic of conversation. I don't want anybody to use my name and make gist. And perhaps with good reason.